Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America. And hello to anybody watching on replay. I am Nancy Hetker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. And I am here today to make a card with you. And I'm going to be using a sketch from Casing Tuesday. Let me get rid of this. Which is a Facebook challenge group that each week takes a picture from a current catalog. In this case, it's from page 22 on this Lovely You bundle, and gives us the sketch measurements. And challenges you to CASE. Now, CASE stands for copy and steal everything, or copy and share everything, or copy and selectively edit. So you can decide what's going to work for you on these acronyms here. But I have decided to basically recreate this card, but in a different set of colors, slightly different sentiment too, I think. So I will move that out of the way and get started here. This is the Lovely You stamp set. I love that script, and I like what the sentiments say, and it comes in a bundle with this Lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch. And this one works, it's got two different ends that will snip off to make a shaped label. And then it also, each one of them works with 3 different widths of cardstock strips. So it comes with a little insert that explains how to use it and what the sizes are, but that's really hard to keep track of, and it's really small print. So I use my label maker, and I put the sizes both in inches and in centimeters onto my punch, so I always have it right at hand. So I've got a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I've gone ahead and mounted up several of these stamps. The focus of this set is usually on these sentiments, because they're really cool and they fit right in with those with the punch and the sizes of strips that it uses. But it's got some really nice images too, and we're going to use those to stamp on our sheet. I see I've got Nikki and Roseanne from Arizona. Hello. Who else is here today? Oh, hello, Beck. How are you here in the Melbourne area? We're lamenting the fact that we have an uptick in coronavirus cases that is reinstituting some of the restrictions, you know, minor compared to what's happening in the US, but disappointing here. So these are the colors I've chosen to use today. Their sample uses, let's see here, it looks like Bumblebee and either Misty Moonlight would be my guess, since they're pushing the in colors. Maybe that's Night of Navy. Gray Granite, and I'm going to say that's Petal Pink. But I'm going to go with these colors. And what I did today, as I was getting ready, was I looked at my colors of cardstock and I said, what haven't I used in a long time? And so that was how I made my challenge, is I pulled out Mary Merlot. I said, I have not used that in forever. And then I picked some other colors that I thought would work with it. So I had kind of figured out which stamp I was using with which one, and now I can't remember. So let me look here. So this one is going to have the leaves. And sorry, it's going to be that flower, right? Yes. And these leaves are going to be this one, and this is going to be this one. Okay, so where to start here? I think we'll do a couple of these. This is soft suede. Hi, Karen. I'm just making sure I can see you guys and the comments and not have my picture freeze. So let's see here. So what I'm doing is I'm just stamping these kind of randomly. And I try to start with my biggest image when I'm doing this kind of thing. Just because it helps. Using smaller ones helps fill in spaces between the big ones, but let's see how we go here. So when I concentrate, I stop chattering, so you can tell I'm concentrating. Hello, Renata. Nice to see you from Virginia. Oh, I'm glad you liked your birthday card, Nikki. Hope you had a good day. Did you get to see your family? I'm looking here. What's going on? Strange day again there in Phoenix, I'm sure, with wildfires and the president visiting, and are people wearing their masks or aren't they? And are they doing anything about the people who aren't wearing their masks? That's my big question, is because here in Victoria, if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, the police will come and they will fine you. Big fines, like thousands of dollars. And even though they're Aussie dollars instead of US dollars, they're still dollars. And there's still many of them. I think maybe that's it. Close up these ink pads. Yeah, I was wondering about you, Karen, and that new Cave Creek, well, Carefree Highway, right? Fire? It's been on my Facebook feed this morning. Okay, close those up. Clean up a few stamps, because, yeah, I've had a good track record this week of dropping things on dirty stamps, dropping stamp pads. No, thank you. That one we still need. So we'll just get those cleaned up a bit. And then to do this one's tag, I was gonna do these colors. Oh my goodness, here we go. So my embossing buddy, I don't know what Stampin' Up! Was thinking, discontinuing this, but if you're in Australia and you do not have an embossing buddy and you want one, get in touch with me because I have sourced some and I'm selling them at cost. I ran out before, but I've got another supply on its way, so that's good. And then once again, I've done this on, let's see how this works here. This is a little bit of removable adhesive, just making it so it's easier to use this. It's always one thing after another, right? Get it kind of centered on there. And then we're going to stamp it in Versamark. And make sure we get it right side up. Yep. And then so some people haven't seen heat embossing before, I'm pretty sure, like my friend Renata and maybe Marcy, who just joined. Yeah, I saw that they've been evacuating some people, I think, from that fire, Karen. So hopefully 5 miles away is enough. It'll stay far away and they'll get it contained and you'll not have to deal with it. Okay, so what I've done is I've stamped this sentiment in a clear, sticky ink called Versamark. And then I've poured this Stamp and Emboss powder on it in white. And it's stuck to, oops, I need to grab a brush. Basically, it's supposed to stick only where the ink is, which is why I ran that embossing buddy on it. That puts a very fine powder that's supposed to keep oils from your hands and static and stuff from getting the powder and to stick anywhere else. But then you might remember I picked up the strip and turned it over, and that kind of negated that powder. So, yeah, the embossing buddy. So I'm just going to use my scissors to hold it in place while I use my heat tool. This is a heat tool. It looks like a heat gun for removing wallpaper or a hair dryer. It gets very, very hot very quickly, and it might be kind of noisy, so hang in with me. I don't know if you can see it because apparently my frame has frozen. Here we go. But this is now quite hot, and what I'm going to do is heat this up so that that powder melts and becomes glossy. I will show this to you in just a minute. It gets a little brighter as it melts. It turns from powder into a finished glossy piece. Turn that off. And on something this fine, sometimes it's hard to see it being glossy, but hopefully as I turn it, you'll be able to. And sorry, I'm still trying to get everything working. There we go. So I hope I haven't kicked you out as I've gone through and tried to get my feed working. Lots of people working from home. Glenn's working from home and he's on a Zoom meeting, I know, so hopefully we're not competing with each other too badly. So I'm putting that in all the way, and then I'm going to turn it over here and check just to eyeball it and make sure it is lined up as straight as I think it is, and I do believe it is. So now I'll punch that off. Yep. And now I'll do it on this side. And again, I'm going to double check. Yep. So there's my sentiment, and then this is going to be the mat for the sentiment, and it slides right in there. And this one was easy because they gave us the measurements. Can you see that one's a little crooked? So I'm just going to take the point of my scissors, and I straightened it out. And now we'll do the same on this side. Because there can be a little bit of play. This one looks pretty good. I'm just going to make sure here. Okay. There. Okay, so that's from the punch. Let me just double check here. That's going to look good on there. Okay, we'll get rid of those. And then on the sample in the catalog, the picture in the catalog that we are copying today or using for our inspiration, they've gone ahead and run this through the what is it, Tasteful Textile embossing folder to put some texture on there. So I'm going to do that and be right back. So this is the embossing folder, Tasteful Textile, and when you put it through and you roll it through the emboss and die cut machine, it presses that texture from this folder into the paper, and so that just adds a little more interest on there. That's going to be very fun. So I'm going to go ahead and find my glue and stick that on there, and I'm just leaving that repositional adhesive on there. It's not going to mess with anything with my permanent glue. I got lots of competing stuff going on, so I'm going to use my line on my grid paper to help me get everything straight and even. Maybe. There we go. So let me bring my stamped piece back in. Out of the way. Oh my goodness. So that's going to be how it coordinates with that. And I may come down just. And then it had some ribbon on it too, so I'm going to do a bit of this, I think. So this is the braided linen trim, and I would have to double check and make sure if this is, maybe somebody watching knows. Is this in the current catalog? I'm very bad about pulling my retired ribbons unless it's a color that is totally retired. So, oh, I'm Butterfingers this morning. Yeah, that embossing is really cool, and it's pretty dramatic. It's one of those things that when you're starting out stamping, you go, oh, I want to keep doing this. Okay, and that's going to go on there. I've got some Stampin' Dimensionals. And these are great. If you don't know Stampin' Dimensionals, these are foam with adhesive on each side. So you pull them off the backing there and they stick on. And you pull the top protective layer off, like so. And ask any stamper, these little backers can wind up all over your house. Like, how did that get there? But that's okay. And then that goes on there. And then they had a bow. So you might be inclined to wrap this trim around and tie a bow on there, but let me tell you, this is much easier. Because you get the bow just how you want it, you get this snug down, it uses less ribbon. And you get it all positioned exactly where you want it. So I'm going to set that aside for a moment. And now we have a decision to make. So on the card in the catalog, they've layered that up on white. But I was wondering about layering it on, I think I like that, on Sahara Sand, which is the color of these little flower buds, and it matches the color of the twine. And I'm liking that for this one. So that's what I'm going to do. I didn't even wait for you guys to weigh in. Thank you, Karen. The braided is continued. That's what I thought, and I'm glad because I like it. It's a nice, just little bit. This was not even, it was slightly off. So there's a slightly bigger margin at the top than at the bottom. I think you can see that. Oh. And then to put this bow on, now we're going to use glue dots. I'm showing you lots of different adhesives today. Love these mini glue dots. And you just put that behind the knot. I kind of give it a little pinch to make sure it's all the way behind the knot. Put it right on top of where that trim went, and you can't even tell that that's two separate pieces and not just wrapped around and tied in a bow. Well, that came out pretty awesome, I think. So I was just wondering about adding some rhinestones or something, because we could. Which is different from the one in the catalog. Let me bring that one back in to show you. So that's the one that we're copying. And this is the one I made. Do something, what would I do? Yeah, now the champagne ones. I'm just looking here. What do you think, ladies? I'm thinking I might. I usually tend towards no, but today I'm tending towards yes. Just for something a little different. You like my colors better. Thank you, Nikki. I'm feeling extravagant today with these. That makes 6. Okay, now I've jumped the shark. Yeah, I'm gonna call that good. And I think I'm gonna call that finished. Okay. What else do I have to talk to you about today? Well, as I do a little picking up here, I want to remind everybody that January, it's winter here, so I'm thinking January, that June is the month of the great sign-up promotion. If you join a team, if you're in Australia, of course, I'd love it to be my team. You get to choose a free stamp and tool bundle. And by that, we mean items that are bundled together, like this Lovely You stamp set and the Lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch. You get to put one of these into your starter kit in addition to everything else for free. So it could be this, it could be one of the die bundles, that Many Layered Blossoms and Blossoms in Bloom stamp set that I've used several times. That one is the priciest one here in Australia. That cost just over $104. So in addition to your $235 worth of product that you get to put into your starter kit, you would also be able to add a stamp and tool bundle. So you could save up to $104.25 by doing that. Again, that $235 worth of product that goes into your starter kit, in the end, you're only paying $169 and you're getting free shipping. So right there, you have incredible savings. Plus, every other order that you place after that, you save 20%. And who doesn't like saving 20%? So no obligation to sell or hold classes or do Facebook Lives or any of the stuff that I do, as long as you maintain your minimum, which is about $470 per calendar quarter here in Australia. Easy to do. And that is retail price. You actually wind up paying about $375 because you're getting your 20% off. So anyhow, that'll all be laid out in a blog post that I'm doing later this week. But it's a great time to join if you've been looking at your wish list and thinking it's pretty long. It's a great way to get free stuff, and it's a great way to get a discount on everything else that you buy. And that's only good for another, 7 or 8 days here, because the free bundle ends on February 1st. Well, it ends on January 31st. So think it over, but don't think for too long. Anyhow, that's what I've got for you today, and I will be back next week with another project. Hopefully you are following my blog at nancysniftynotes.com. And yeah, this will be up on the blog tomorrow with links back to this video. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.